Okay, hi, this is a Canadian Star Wars figure. It's a 20-back Snaggletooth, and it's pretty similar to the American card, but it has a couple of differences. It has, where it says 4 and up, it has it in French as well, and it has this white price area which only on American cards existed on the 12 backs. And when the American cards got to the 20 backs, they removed that white price area, so that's another difference. Then you've got the name there, Snaggletooth. Picture of the Snaggletooth in his red outfit. Very famous that originally with the Sears playset they made the blue Snaggletooth, which is a lot taller than this figure and has a head in a different colour, like a more beige colour than the grey, and it has a navy dark blue uniform and silver boots, and that's only available loose in the playset, and that is quite valuable. And then you can see here under the Kenner logo, the Kenner Products Canada Limited, and it's got the address there as well in Toronto, and again made in Hong Kong in English and French. This is to comply with the Canadian laws of having both English and French spoke. I mean on their on products. Nice card, nice on the front at least. Bubble's got a slight yellow tinge to it, but overall it's quite nice. The figure's in good condition, typical Snaggletooth with the Han Solo blaster. On the back they got the Snaggletooth figure pictured with the Imperial rifle, but I think this is the correct weapon. There's the Snaggletooth, just a single tooth there, and 2 red bloodshot eyes. Maybe he's been out on the town. Alright, Canadian stuff is quite rare in the UK. It's not as common as in the US, I guess, and Canadian stuff doesn't really come up much on eBay or anything like that, so I snapped this one up. Nice figure. On some of the 12 backs they had the French logo here in quite big writing. I mean, French stuff, Meccano stuff over here is quite rare as well, and I've noticed that prices for any French stuff has gone quite high. It's a lot rarer than the British stuff, the Palatoy stuff, which is fairly available over here. But the most common stuff over here is the American 77 backs and stuff like that. So this is quite rare, but not impossible to obtain. Okay, here we have the French logo on the back of the card at the top, La Guerre des Étoiles, or excuse my French pronunciation, and it's got the language in both English and French there. New figures from Star Wars, available soon, Collector 20. And there's the Snaggletooth with the Imperial blaster. Hammerhead, R5, D4, Greedo, and then the original 12 figures. All their names are given in English, not in French. Then at the bottom they've got the blue part of the card with what accessories are available, and that's it, both in English and French. And then you've got the little pop there which you had to cut out if you wanted to get free stuff, and then you've got the address at the bottom for Canada in both English and French. Okay, the back's a bit worn. You can see there that there's a bit of scuffing there. But this is an old card. It's from, let's see, what year is it? 1978, I think. So it's 32 years old now. 1978, 79. Let's check. It doesn't say, but I'd say 1978. A Greedo there. A Jawa shown with its plastic cape. By then most of them had been switched to the cloth cape. So Han Solo with the small head. Luke Skywalker, Death Squad Commander. I mean, I really like this French writing, it looks pretty cool. I've got one French Meccano 12-back Princess Leia, and that's got on the front this sort of title, but in a sort of slanting way, and that's what they used on the Canadian cards for the 12-back figures, on some of them, not all of them. And you know, I've got Jawa, French Meccano square card, and that's got that on the front, that sort of writing. But Jawa is probably the easiest one to find. I've got a couple of French Return of the Jedi figures as well, so they're the ones that are quite valuable at the moment. So, but this is, until recently I hardly had any Canadian vintage figures. I've got a Canadian Tebow on Return of the Jedi, and that's about it, plus this. So that just shows you how rare they are in England. So as soon as I saw this, I bid for it and won it on eBay, and I'm glad I won it. Nice card. Much more desirable than a US card, I think, or in my opinion. Okay, so that's the review about the Snaggletooth. Very similar to the US card. 20 back. And they say that the ratio of Canadian cards to US cards is probably 1 to 10. It's probably even less than that, because I think the hobby was much bigger. I mean, there must be way more American cards. I think after American cards, the next most common would be the British cards, the Palatoy cards, and then anything else from other countries will be pretty hard to find. I'm sure you can get these more in North America than over here, but I like this. It's definitely a nice card. And I like getting all different foreign types of cards. Decent figure. I've got this on Tri-Logo as well, and I've got this on Kenner Return of the Jedi. And have I got any other Snaggletooths? Trying to think. I've got a blue Snaggletooth as well. So, decent figure. Modern figures of this, Power of the Jedi, you can get this figure. It's called Zooton, and it's probably a more realistic sculpt, but if you're into vintage stuff, this is the classic figure. This and the blue Snaggletooth. The blue Snaggletooth being one of the hardest ones to acquire. So this is a nice card. Decent. Okay, so that's my end of my verbal review. Like the character, there's not much to say, just to look really. That's it. Signing off.